Welcome to our next episode of
Fandom
Family
Chats.
This is a production of Family Fan Clubs on Facebook. You can find us all over Facebook. You can find us all over social media under Fandom Family Chats. Look us up, get dialed in, get plugged in, and get ready to listen to some crazy people talk crazy stuff.
Hey, I'm Jeanette.
I'm Josh.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Tiffany.
And tonight we are going to be talking, let's see, Lone Star and The Resident.
Yes. No, this is us this week.
No, this is us. So it feels kind of weird. It's going to be a short episode, right? But Lone Star. So we got hit with like a big surprise as soon as the episode opened.
Yes. Wow. I didn't, that came out of nowhere. Well, I don't know. As soon as the kid asked to talk to Jed, I was like, uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Yep, I
was
knew.
like, oh, it's his
I
daddy.
Yeah.
His daddy Judd.
Yep.
As soon as you saw him walking in, oh, this isn't good.
Exactly.
I know. And poor Judd, it took him a minute though. You know, he was like, what can I do? And he's just like sitting there reading his newspaper, you know, like,
He looks so old.
God, I love Judd though. But that
I was
baby,
like, why
it's
they age
aging.
him?
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. You have kids, you get old instantly. Like, I don't know.
He just went from like young dad to like 45-year-old male. I was like, wow.
I know. So funny.
Still good looking. Don't get me wrong. Oh, Grace.
Oh man.
Whatever you could say to me, you could say to my wife.
Which I love that about him though.
Oh,
You know,
me
I
too.
just love their relationship. There was no like, we're not even gonna pretend like we're gonna keep a secret. He's like, just say it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was watching that and it's like, yeah, we all know what's coming. And then he said that and I'm like, oh boy. It's like,
Mhm,
here we
mhm.
go.
Yeah.
And I mean, she handled it wonderfully, like at that moment, you know. I mean, like, you know, she got a little mad later on, which I think is expected. I mean, in
Sure.
my head, I was thinking those pregnancy or those baby hormones are probably a little bit at play in how upset she got for a minute. But
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's just shocking. But
I don't think she was like,
well, she knew she was irrationally mad. Like she was
Yeah.
admitting, like, I understand I shouldn't be mad at you, but I am. I think that's
Yeah.
okay. You know?
I think you're more hurt.
Yeah.
Even though you have no right to be. It
Well,
was
it's just-
for you. It'd still be like, eh.
Well, still just throws you for a loop. Like here, you know,
Yeah.
like you've given him this child and now it's not his only child. And I don't know, it would just feel weird. So I can understand,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know,
It would be.
I mean, definitely had a lot to do with it, you know.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then, you know, but I was so proud of her. I mean, she's the one that got the kid's number because Judd was just going to let him walk out of there.
Like, we're
You know?
done.
Yeah.
Bye.
And then like she invited like him and his mama over for dinner, which I was like, whoa, I feel like that should have been maybe a conversation with Judd before you just invited him over. But,
Yeah.
you know, I think it'll work out.
That probably should have been a conversation, but that's a very much a Grace thing. I think she just kind of took charge and said, yeah, okay, this is what's gonna happen. You know,
Yeah.
I think she's definitely that kind of person, and it's but I think she did handle it appropriately, you know,
Mhm.
Grace, if you will, you know.
With Grace.
Yeah. I know. And I wonder though, like what this, like where the story's going to go, because hearing Judd tell Tommy about this woman and about his experience, he was obviously like, I mean, I don't know if he loved her, but I mean, he definitely cared for her and, you know, was
Yeah.
really into that, you know, relationship, even though it was short. So I hope, I'm like, don't mess with Judd and Grace because that'll really upset me. But
Yeah, really right after she just had the baby. You don't.
yeah. But did you all realize, I think I told someone, did y'all realize who his baby mama is? Did you all recognize her?
I didn't until you said something.
Did you see it, Amanda?
No.
It's Robin Lively. Do you remember the movie Teen Witch back in like the really goofy movie from like the 80s? It took me a minute because I was like, why does she look so familiar? And Tiffany pointed out that it's Blake Lively's sister. Did y'all know this? Because I didn't know
No.
this.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
So there
She
we
must
go.
be older?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
it
because she's
Riley?
I'd say she's older than me, so she's got to probably
Oh.
be
Yeah.
late 40s, I guess. I don't know.
Man, so that means she's sister-in-laws with
That's what we're thinking. Yeah.
Mhm.
Ryan
She
Reynolds.
sure is.
We're bringing it
Tiffany's
right back
crush.
to Ryan Reynolds. Yep.
Everything
like
goes
this.
back to Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even my husband loves Ryan Reynolds. I mean,
Who doesn't? I mean, he's awesome, right?
it's funny because I've always known this about my husband. And then all over TikTok, these women are like calling out their husbands for loving Ryan Reynolds, like being in love with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I'm like,
he's like
oh,
the exceptional man crush.
it's all
you know?
men.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll see. This one night stand might end up, because it was a one night stand, right? With Judd and the baby mama. Is that the way it sounded? If it
That's
wasn't a
what it
one night
sounded like.
stand,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know, this may come back and cause some problems.
Yeah, I just don't trust her.
Mm-mm. I know, I don't either, but hopefully it'll all be okay. Like, why did she never tell, her kid who the dad was? I don't know. Like, because I mean, Judd's a good guy. Like, there'd be no reason not to. I don't know. Just weird.
Yeah, I don't see what her reasoning was for keeping him away.
Yeah.
It's not like she couldn't have easily tracked him down unless she didn't know his name.
Which
I know,
maybe.
those situations.
Which
Well, I
is
tell you,
probably-
Judd didn't recognize her name when the kid said it, so
Mm-mm.
maybe they didn't really get that
Okay,
far.
yeah,
I'm not sure.
That's true.
I don't know.
I don't think they were. I mean, I don't think it was. They knew very much about each other.
Yeah,
So she was probably like, I don't know how to.
right.
I mean, who
guess that
knows
would
if
be
she even
embarrassing.
knew how to get in touch with them?
That's true.
Did I mean,
That's true.
I mean, I'm sure she'd be scared he'd take the kid away half the time, and I mean, there's a lot of fears.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Really,
She did
if she
call
doesn't
him
know him,
my
she
son.
can't trust him.
Exactly.
I mean,
She
you
doesn't
never
know
know.
anything about him.
Mhm. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, they were just strangers on a rodeo circuit.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she still should have said something.
Yeah. But then that would make for a very good story. So
I know. Where would the drama be in that?
exactly. Exactly.
Can't be doing that.
And then we've got going from one night stand to one night strand with Owen
Boy.
here.
I love that nickname. I thought that,
That
was so
cracked
clever.
me
and funny.
up.
Mhm.
One night straight.
Pretty good.
I think we can all agree he's going through some sort of midlife crisis there.
Yeah.
Some sort of,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
second
definitely.
chance crisis or something as well. Now that his cancer is gone or something, I don't know. It's like
I know. Well, they said like seeing Gwen obviously like shook him up, and I do love her. I'm still rooting for them. I'm going to root for
I
them
know.
until it's done. So
I know. Oh, can we discuss Jenny with an eye? Or was it Jenny with an eye?
oh no,
yeah, yeah.
no.
I was confused at first. I'm like, wait,
She's so
who
young.
is it?
I know.
Because she was so young and she's talking to Mateo. I'm like, okay, but I
right.
was like, TK moved out. I was like, well, yeah, TK. I was like, wait,
Well,
who
that's not
is
really
she
his
belong
type,
to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But granted, it's Rob Lowe. So
I know. And
There's
then Daddy
no-
Strand walked out and I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, I don't think it matters about age,
I think Mateo was having the same reaction that all of us were having. We were watching this, going just like, okay, how are we figuring this out? What's going on?
Right.
Who are you?
we were
Oh.
living it. He was too.
Mhm.
Jenny with an eye. Who introduces themselves like
Funny.
I guess girls you meet on I can't even remember what the app was called, whatever app it was that he was meeting her on.
Oh, I don't remember what it was.
But it was, I don't know, I love Mateo giving him advice on which apps you're supposed to find women on. And that was not it.
Oh, and then Marjan getting in on it.
Mm-hmm. Look how what he say, no kitchen duty for like a week or something. And she's like, are you trying to buy me off? And then he said a month, and she was like, deal. I knew she was gonna do it. Like, yeah, you might as well milk that,
Yeah, the moment Mateo started talking about, needing 500,000 followers or something like
Mhm.
that to even get on there, I was like, Firefox.
Marshawn,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
Yep.
it's gonna be your in. But his date didn't go well at first though.
No.
Because I mean, I don't trust anyone who doesn't love Matthew McConaughey. So I am with him on that one. Like, what is she thinking?
Though the thing is I am a huge Amy Acker fan. So like she could say anything on screen and I would just agree with it,
Yeah.
And she's from Texas too. So I mean, I don't know. It's like
Yeah. I think we were all talking in the chat, somebody mentioned her and I didn't recognize her name. So it wasn't until I watched it. And I was like, oh, she was on Angel. I remember her now. It's Fred, right? That was her name on
Yeah.
Angel, I'm pretty sure.
Winifred Merkel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that.
I didn't watch all of it because it wasn't as good as Buffy, but
It
I
had
watched
its
some of it.
moments, yeah. I enjoyed Buffy a lot, but David Boreanaz, he's great. He's just, I think he really held that show together, and
Oh
those
yeah.
other characters that really
Yeah.
supported it.
Better on Bones.
I've never seen Bones.
I like
Everyone talks
Bones.
about it, but I've never watched it.
No, I love Bones.
I'm not
Bones
into
was good.
crime dramas though. Like it's not my genre that I watch. So
Owen saves his date night by taking her on a chase to save a little girl from the earlier call.
mhm.
Thankfully. Oh, poor Katie.
Gosh.
Little
Yeah.
Katie.
That car chase was something else, actually. I
I
don't know.
love that Owen does that kind of stuff. I mean, he just jumps right in. He doesn't
Mhm.
care.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder, part of that is part of that just his personality. I mean, as a firefighter, or as part of
Mhm.
that, part of this midlife crisis he's going through, right? It's almost like, devil may care, kind of
Yeah.
mentality. I mean, I like to think it leans more towards, hey, I'm gonna rescue, somebody,
So
save the day, but it made me think that
Yeah.
there's maybe a little bit of that.
well, with his health crisis and all of that stuff too. I mean, that may have sort of made him more gun ho to like be less scared of situations, maybe. I don't know, but I think he's a firefighter, so maybe he's just always been like that.
And of course, they're on this chase, trying to chase down this babysitter and I guess this kidnapped kid. I will say this PSA, for people. One, change your passwords often. If you got a camera monitoring your kid, change your password. Do it
Yeah.
every week if you have to,
Yes.
or just don't put a camera, especially one with a microphone,
Mhm.
anywhere.
I refused to do that when my kids were little. Like they didn't really. Elena's, it wasn't big when she was little, but even with Shelby, I was like, I'm not doing that because that feels so creepy. Like I get
Mhm.
creeped out on regular monitors when they accidentally get on a frequency of somebody else and you hear somebody
yeah.
talking through them, even though they can't necessarily hear you, but like it's just a mixed up frequency.
But
Freaks me
yeah,
out. Like, no.
yeah.
But why? Look, here's the thing. I don't understand these parents. Because if my kids came to me and said like something about Mr.
Right.
Whispers, first of all, I'm probably going to think it's a ghost, but I'm still going to investigate and figure out like what they're seeing. And if I've already got
Yeah,
a
I'm not
camera in
gonna
their room, I'm just going to watch the footage like and see what happens.
That's my thing. I was like, what?
So weird.
Like, I understand thinking your kids are imagining it or making it up because I mean, kids do. They make stuff up all the time. But if it's something my kids has told me more than once, like if it's a consistent like thing, I'm gonna think about it a few more times.
Yeah.
I'm gonna investigate it because that's
Well, obviously, like you said, they're not looking at the footage. I mean, if they had
Yeah.
known, I mean, if they had, they would have known about it a lot sooner.
and we
Shouldn't-
actually in around the outside of our house and in our kids' playrooms when they were growing up, we had these type of cameras that have like where you can talk back and forth to them. But we would constantly, one, you change your passwords like you're supposed to. My husband's in IT. He knows all this stuff. But two, if anything, you can go back
Mhm.
and watch and you can hear that if somebody's talking through it. So if your kid is saying what little Katie was telling her mom, just as a parent to me, I don't know, I would have gone back and at least looked at it. I mean, I don't know.
But how old is Katie? Because I swear my kids would be like, I don't know you. And why are you
Right.
talking through my like monitor here?
Yeah.
That's what I told Ben. I was like,
Like-
our kids would be like, hello, there's some creepy person talking to me.
Yes. And they wouldn't just call him Mr. Whisters, like, Mom, it's coming through the thing. Like,
Yes.
I don't think my kids are any smarter than other kids. I'm not like sitting here saying that. It's just I know my kids would not. they would
Well,
not do this.
when she pulled the matches from what was it, the window
Yeah.
or whatever else like that, that's when everything changed for me, because I realized, oh, this is not just a hacker. This is somebody she knows.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Somebody
That's
that's
been in her room.
been in her room, been in her house, that either the
Yep.
parents know or something, something like that. And so maybe that's one of the reasons why she didn't, push back and be like, "Ooh, who's this?" You know what I mean? Because it was the babysitter. They
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
Crazy
crazy.
stories though,
But
but
I don't think she knew it was. I don't think Katie knew it was the babysitter.
maybe not.
She called him Mr. Whispers. Was Mr. Whispers? Yeah.
Let's call it Mr. Whispers, but maybe Mr. Whispers was telling her information to make her feel like information the babysitter knew to make her feel comfortable and be her friend too. So
Yeah.
I guess that could have been the case.
Yeah.
I still think my kids wouldn't have fallen for him, but
I don't think so either. I mean,
Mine would.
well, she's like 3, right? I mean,
Like,
there's
yeah. Well, she thinks the moose is talking to her when I use the monitor part to
Oh.
Yeah,
talk and tell her to go to sleep.
but Katie
And
was
I
like
felt-
6 or 7. Like, I mean, I don't know.
I feel bad for Carlos too. He's going through all that camera footage, and I mean, he's just like sitting there almost in shock. I just felt so bad for him. Then
Yeah.
boom,
Mhm.
scares him, and it's like, oh man.
Well, I was
Yeah.
creeped out watching it, so I'm sure
Yeah.
if he's watching it, he was creeped out too.
And
And
this,
TK snuck up on him. So
this was a little bit of a dark story for Lone Star.
Mhm.
Yeah.
think this dark, in this show, but
yeah,
it
I'm
made
glad
car chase.
it was the babysitter though, because I really thought it was going to be some weird like child trafficking or something like
Yeah.
really terrifying. And not that this wasn't terrifying, but I thought it was going to be worse when it first started. So
Yes.
I did too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's exactly what I was thinking too, especially, with everything going on right now, human trafficking is so rampant, especially because of everything going on at the border, and it's just leaking out into everything. And it's just, it's crazy. But,
Mhm.
but the moment she grabbed the matches from the windshield, the window, I was like, oh yeah, no, this is something else. This is
Mhm.
a bit different kind of story here.
Yeah.
But thankfully it's funny that it kind of all lined up, that Owen was in the right place at the right time.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And of course that made she ended up liking him then, and
Yeah.
well, we found out she did like Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused, so it redeemed her just a little bit.
It made it all right.
There you go.
It also, I can't forget, we got to talk about Judd when they're in the fire at the first part. Man, he was really going for it. What did he tell? He told the other two fire. I can't remember who it was. I think it was it Mateo and
Mateo and
and
somebody.
Paul, I think
Paul.
was it Paul? Yeah, it was Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
He's like, drag him out if you have to. And I mean, sure enough, that's just about what they did. And I was like, but that's a perfect example of Judd. I mean, that's just kind of what he
Who he is. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
who he is. He's got that maverick, and it's just like you
Mhm.
focus on one thing, and that's what he's going for, and maybe that kind of also leads back to what he's dealing with now with the situation with this kid.
Mhm.
It's almost like maybe he hyper focused on something for a moment, and then didn't think about it ever
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
It's just kind of that kind of maverick, kind of cowboy kind of personality.
But hopefully Carlos is gonna maybe be a detective, which I think will be really fun because he was
Ooh,
really
I
good at
know.
that. So at first I was mad at that lady because she was kind of blowing him off. And I'm like, look, he knows what he's doing here. He's doing a good job. Like, just listen to him.
I didn't
But-
like her. I saw her. I didn't like her.
Yeah.
But-
She redeemed herself at the end when she
Okay,
told
good.
me he should apply to be a detective. So
Ooh,
yeah,
He'd
I'm
be a
gonna have
really
to go
good detective.
finish.
I think you will too. And maybe we'll get to see him in a suit. That was my thought.
That's fine.
Poor Josh probably hates podcasting with us because all we do is talk about the hot guys.
It's like, we need another dude on here.
Sorry.
It's all good.
He's getting
help
used to us.
Right.
And then, of course, for next week, we get to see a little bit of a preview. And yeah, it's kind of out there. They're hinting at something a little extraterrestrial, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. They better do this right because I am not into alien storylines. This is not something I enjoy. I'm just not a sci-fi person, but it looks like someone, I'm sure it's not going to be aliens, but it obviously they think it is, and someone's got some sort of radiation poisoning. And
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Well,
They didn't
aliens
give
are
us-
real.
Weren't we just talking about Roswell?
Yeah,
but-
I'm watching it
okay.
right now.
Now look, Michael is an acceptable alien, but I'm not really into like.
Are you watching the original?
I'm watching New Mexico right now.
Amanda's watching the new one. Me and Tiffany were telling her it's not worth it.
Okay,
but,
I'm loving it though.
but that's because you haven't seen the original.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Right.
that's why I decided to go ahead and watch New Mexico
Do
before
New
I watched the
Mexico
original.
first, and then go
Because
back.
you
and watch
guys said
the
if I watched the original that I wouldn't like the new
you
one.
wouldn't.
Mhm.
But it has
After you
so
watch
many
the-
people that I know.
I know. I
I wanna watch
tried.
it.
I
I
know.
tried for that reason, but look, the whole like the issues are with Michael, and I can't. It's not.
Yeah, the story is just so different, and the way they were all paired off in the original kind of made sense, and here it doesn't, and it's just kind of I will say I do enjoy watching Amber Mid Thunder in the new one. She's really good actress.
Who does she play?
And she plays was it Rosa? No, yeah,
Okay.
Rosa?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is that Liz's
I thought
sister?
that they were the exact same freaking person with like a mole on her face.
yeah, they do look very,
They
very
casted that.
I love
but it-
Roswell.
but
Brought it
also
up. Not gonna talk.
the original is so much better than the new one. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm
good.
gonna watch it after.
CW has a track record of redoing stuff, and it's not the greatest, especially when
Not as
it's their
good.
own properties. This is
I did like Walker though, but I haven't finished it. But I was liking that.
Walker's been okay, and the one thing I like about Walker, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to get off on a tangent here, but
You're
You don't care.
it's
We do all the time.
it's actually filmed in Austin, and that is what I wish 911 was doing.
Yeah.
911
Yeah.
Lone Star, if they were filming in Austin, I think would just increase the how do I say the quality, but also the popularity of that show.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I
I
agree.
did not know they weren't filming in Austin.
Aren't they in
Exactly.
California or something?
It's actually filmed in LA. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is actually filmed in LA. And they do a decent job of making LA look like Austin, and they've done a lot of like aerial shots and stuff like that that look like Austin, but it's definitely not, definitely not Austin.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you can see there's actually, I forgot, somebody pointed out there's like a scene where they're in, I don't know where it is, some marketplace or something in Lone Star, and it's actually the same marketplace or something that they're in like in 911, the regular.
Oh really?
It's like,
Whoops, you should have picked a different one. You know.
My bad.
I think they just tried to change it a little bit. So
Yeah.
but aliens, that's the thing about this next episode. Texas is big on aliens.
Yeah.
You've got Martha Lights, you've got oh gosh, what is the one? There's that story from the 70s that actually happened. The guy got abducted. I'm using quotation marks here. I forgot what it's called. So there's a lot of stories
Yeah.
about aliens in Texas, and none of them have been proven, but there are a lot of good stories.
I can't get behind aliens. Ghosts, maybe, but not aliens. I don't know about it.
Government came out and said they were real, Jeanette.
I don't know. Where did they say
You're not
that?
wrong.
They did last year.
Last
And
year they-
nobody freaking paid attention.
yeah, 'cause
did
we
you
were in the middle
guys?
of a pandemic.
Sure didn't.
But- Yeah, they said that extraterrestrials. They said they didn't say extraterrestrials were real, but they said that the UFOs were, and that there was I forgot what percentage that were truly UFOs that they could not scientifically explain. They couldn't say,
Well,
"Oh,
that-
that was the Russians," or "That was the Chinese," or "That was us."
Yeah.
So
Thought I might believe. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna-
They're real. You think we're the only things in this world?
No, I don't necessarily, but I don't think
This
any
is not
aliens
world.
are like coming to our like planet. I mean,
I
do
don't-
I think that there could be another, planet where people live and exist and things like that? Sure, maybe, out there somewhere, but they're not. They're
that's
not
what they
landing
said.
here and abducting people and things like this. I don't believe that.
That's what they said.
Mm.
Elon Musk is trying to build this starship so he can get home, but who knows?
Oh, I mean,
Well, I guess we'll
Wouldn't
see
surprise me.
how they
yeah,
do
we'll
it.
see.
I do like some episodes. I think I've seen some shows where they'll do like the little wink, like they'll explain it away and then there'll be like a little wink at the end of something
Yeah.
that was unexplained and just kind of leaves you with a,
My guess is that's what they'll do here because I just think I think they'll do something similar to that. But we'll see. We'll see. So I guess now we can talk about The Resident, which was another great episode, I think. We had, of course, we see Conrad again being like the most amazing human ever. Just starts out with, all of that little girl that they bring in, and he's just the best.
that was like right place, right time again, that he was the one
Always
walking out right when that guy was pulling in.
Of course. Who else? I thought Kate was gonna like help him or something.
Yeah.
She's
a little odd, but I like her.
I like her too. I just want her to open up.
Yeah.
And
I
you
want to know
can
what she's
tell.
hiding. Like
Yes.
something big, at least something big to her.
I still think it's running because really this case this week, I felt like something it was personal to her.
Yeah.
I think she's running from an abusive situation of some sort of kind, whether it be an ex, whether it be a parent, who knows.
Something.
I think that's.
I have to agree with that. Yeah. I don't know. I can't say I like her yet. I can't say I don't either. I haven't really figured that character out. She's kind of one of the characters like even yesterday watching her, I was like, oh, where'd you come from? You know what I mean? It was just like, it didn't feel right yet, to see her
I can see
there,
that. Yeah, she's still new. But this little girl's
Conrad's getting attached to her though.
He was really concerned with her at the end. So I definitely think we're heading into a romance because we've completely dropped the preschool teacher. We haven't heard from her since their little morning and outing to the aquarium. I think that's the last time we saw her.
Yeah, because I think that's the same day he met Kate, and I think that's just where his mind has been narrowed down into now.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's.
Well, he's a protector. I think that's his personality, and the fact that she looks like she needs some sort of protection. I think not necessarily. I mean, obviously she can take care of herself, but he can tell there's something going on. I think he wants to help her because that's just who he is.
I think he's just intrigued with her.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's a mystery and he's intrigued.
Well, I think they're, like I said, the first time we saw her, I mean, their vibe just matches much better than it does with like a preschool teacher. I feel like that's just not Conrad. He's going to need somebody intense and who's, this doctor like she is that, because that's how Nick was too. I mean, like, so I think she suits him much better. But yes, this little girl, man, these shows amaze me how quickly like they just figure out like she's been struck by lightning. But I will say my medical knowledge is pretty strong now because as soon as they showed that little mark, I was watching it with Elena. I said, "Oh, she's been struck by lightning," and she said, "How did you know?" And I said, "Well, I've watched enough Grey's Anatomy." And I feel like every medical show I've ever watched, that little mark, like they've talked about this, is something that's happened. I think it even happened on Chicago Med. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I've seen it on a few different shows.
I have too, so it might be Chicago Med too.
So I was like, I just know.
I was watching something the other day. I don't remember what it was though, and somebody was like, "Is there a doctor in the house?" Some guy stands up and goes, "No, but I've seen every episode of Grey's Anatomy." Like,
right? That's close enough. That's a lot of
pretty close, yeah.
I mean, that's
I bet I can help more than the next show. Let me just.
Exactly.
I mean, I've seen every episode of House. I've seen every episode of Grey's a few times. I've seen every episode of The Resident, Chicago Med. I got this. I can do surgery.
We can throw out the terminology anyways, at least
if you can't breathe, I can trach you. Give me a knife, alcohol, and a straw.
And a straw.
I got this.
That's it. That's all you need. Yeah.
Or a pen. I can do it with the pen too.
Yeah. 2 foot. Oh yeah.
That was like the first episode of The Good Doctor too, which is another good show. I like.
Oh, it is a good one. Love that one.
Mm-hmm. I need to get caught up. I'm behind on it.
I am too.
One of my favorite lines though too was when Kate, and I wrote this down in our notes, y'all, when she said that guy is like a picnic basket full of cupcakes and ponies and sunbeams. And I was like, he definitely is. Like, just
That's funny.
He was so sweet with that little girl. I mean, it was just like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
You just attached yourself to him right away.
Mm.
Wouldn't you?
Well,
Yeah. Sure
I
would.
am too, right? Oh,
I wish I
could.
I think Conrad just has that, or I guess I should say Matt just has that personality, huh?
oh yeah, definitely. Did you all notice Billy? Are we going there? Because she was watching him in a way that made me think again that she's
No.
interested.
God,
I really
thought
think we're
to.
going there.
no.
Mm.
I don't want it to go there.
I
We're
don't,
we're teetering on the line here.
I
They're
don't know
just
if I do.
teasing us every episode with something small.
I really
Like
like
some
Billy
way she
though.
looks at him or something she says to him or something.
I don't
But
think
I don't know if they're
that
going
way.
there or not. They're
I
just
mean,
like tricking us.
I wouldn't
I
I
don't think
wouldn't
I'd
be
be
mad.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad, but I just don't think that's the way they're gonna go.
I don't know. They just keep messing with us, I think.
I think there's just too much history there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't see how they can.
Look, if Rebecca and Miguel can live happily ever after Jack dying, it can happen, guys.
Anything can happen.
I think Billy's got a lot of things to work out, on
Yeah.
the major stuff, and
I would agree with that.
be free to positively look on a relationship.
I do wonder what Conrad will think when he finds out about all of that. We'll talk more about her later, but I see Conrad being very upset with this. And he's just not, I mean, everyone would be upset, obviously, but
yeah, I think it's about to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to be able to protect Trevor.
Mm-mm.
The way
No.
she thinks she's going to. It's just not going to happen that way. She's going to have some sort of proof that it happened, and right there is her proof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah, but no, they they saved the patient. It was, nick of time as it always is, like Kit worked her magic and did the surgery, and they found her sister, and happy endings all around, right?
well, I mean, we hope so.
Yeah. Well, Winston said they are not going back to an abusive home, which he's another character. I am so excited we got to see him again. I really like him.
I do too. Yeah, he's awesome. The moment he came on, I was like, oh yes. I hope we get to see more of him. I mean, well, I guess we want to see. I guess that would be bad, right? If we saw more of him, there'd be more problems. But yeah. They can work him in more, right?
They
we
can
just
work
need
him in.
another like after hours at the bar episode where we've had them before, where they can all just hang out. We don't have to worry about problems. They can just hang out together. We get to see it.
Or just like, in the ED,
Mm-hmm.
just hanging out. You know how they do it sometimes, how they're talking by the nurse's station and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would even like that, just for him to be in more scenes. I feel like we say this about everybody in the Resident, though.
Right.
We
want
good,
more.
Yeah. I mean, all their like small players are just so good, and they like grab your attention. Like, I mean,
and Nurse Hundley this week.
Yes.
So great.
We got a lot of her. She was great this week.
I loved her. I loved how she treated that patient. We're not there yet, but I loved how she treated that patient.
Well, we're going there next. So
we're going there next, actually. So yeah, we had this patient that
the
AJ and Devin were helping.
Yeah.
Roxy, right? I think it was Roxy.
I couldn't remember her name, so I loved her though. Like in the beginning, when they were like, waiting for the shoes, which was so random. I was like, here Devin, obviously he's got a shoe fetish here.
Yeah,
like
haircut.
Waiting on the shoes. Right?
Hey, haircut.
What a name. I loved it. I thought it was really fun. But I thought she was such a cool lady. And then of course, I felt sorry for her, just the way that everybody was kind of being
her.
It
was heartbreaking. Oh my gosh.
It was
very heartbreaking, but it was also very real.
Yeah.
And I mean, her whole case it wasn't anything you were expecting.
Yeah.
Like all these things where you're like, you think she's having a heart attack.
Yep.
And then it ends up being, what does it end up being? Bulimia. Wow.
Well, and you're right, because it's kind of like, they introduce this character with them trying to buy, these fancy shoes, and it's like, you think it's just another side story, that kind of thing. And all of a sudden it becomes this medical emergency, and thankfully, Devin and Layla were there, but still it's just kind of, one of those things where you just were not necessarily thinking that was gonna go that
Mm.
way.
No,
But it's funny, I
uh-uh.
love how they switched out of oh, we're here shopping for shoes, like straight into doctor mode.
Nope.
I thought that was cool, but
I am glad Devin got his shoes at the end though, because I was a little like, oh man, here he's waited in this line in the rain and he's not even gonna get his shoes.
And
he
AJ's
saved
gonna get
her
himself a
life.
pair
You
too.
think, I mean, he saved her life. You think they would, get at least a pair of shoes, but
Right?
hey. But yeah, no, Roxy was a great character. I do agree. I think I felt bad for her for the way that that she had been treated in the past. But AJ, I mean, I know he was so stern with her from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I know that kind of like that came off kind of like, oh boy, here we go. Here's
Yep.
the condor,
Yeah.
Yeah. He was making
and
me angry at first.
yeah, I think he was making a lot of people angry. And
Mhm.
I get it, because it's like sometimes you want to treat with compassion, but at the same time, at the end, just like it resolved where she appreciated his candor, it's like sometimes that's what it takes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I think that's the balance. You get so many doctors that are out there and they have these god complexes, and
Yeah.
they're just like overly controlling narcissists.
Yeah.
And then you get the opposite side where we're just like, oh, it's okay, we're not going to worry about that right now.
Yeah.
And then you get what she had, the dismissal, but in the end, she I guess needed to hear it straight.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I think I prefer Devin's bedside manner than I think I'd cry if I had a doctor talk to me like AJ did, but that's okay. It worked out for her,
Yeah. It did. It worked out. I mean, AJ came around at the end. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
he redeemed himself.
And he was doing it all with the best intentions. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just, so harsh.
I mean,
Yeah.
there was this one thing that we're supposed to be talking about next, but Devin bothered me about this.
Did he? I was getting ready to
But
ask
then
this.
again, he didn't, because I feel like he's trying to protect Leela and try to be real with her
Yeah.
and honest.
Yeah.
But on the other side, you're like,
I was going to ask you all because I knew Shelby said he made her mad, but he did not make me mad because he didn't come across to me at all as he wasn't supporting her dreams.
yeah, I know.
It came across that he was just, because what she's wanting to do is nearly impossible.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see, I think in the next episode, we almost see, Billy say the same thing where I think that's what she's talking about. I don't think this is anything that anyone's ever done before. And so he's just being protective. I think he'll support her no matter what she wants to do.
I do
think we're
too.
really trying to be realistic with her, being, having both of those, what double board certified or whatnot. Yeah, that's extreme. And then it makes me wonder too, it's like, she's had issues with trying to prove herself because of her dyslexia. So is she really doing it because she wants to be able to say, hey, I can do that? Or is she still trying to just prove herself?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering, is why she's wanting to do this.
What's the motives?
And
what's
because
the motive?
The reality is, yes, she has overcome so much with her disability. And obviously, we know that she's, really dedicated and really hardworking, but this is a really tough task for anyone. And with her disability, she's going to have to work so hard. There may just not be enough hours in the day.
Yeah.
To pull this off.
No.
Well, and being dyslexic, it's not going to be as easy to learn as anybody without dyslexia,
Yeah.
So she's going to have to put in not just double work because she's trying to look at two fields. She's going to put in double work because of dyslexia.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be real tough.
Yeah, becoming a doctor in only one field is life consuming.
Yeah.
Doing it for more than one, that's literally going to take up all of her time.
Maybe she's going to do like one at a time, right?
I don't know.
Because he said it's going to be a total of 8 years.
Yeah, so I guess
so 4 and 4. I think that's she would have to do like one and then the other.
And in his defense, like she said to Billy, I don't know, was it this episode or it might have been last episode, that when she was talking about kids, she was like, oh, that's a while off. Well, does he feel that way though?
Yeah,
he may be wanting to take those steps. And I mean, 8 years is kind of a long time if that's not what you were planning, for your future. So I don't know. It may cause problems for him.
When is he going to put a ring on it?
Well,
Right?
but if I know,
Well,
he
we
needs-
did
8 years.
He did a 3-year jump.
Exactly.
well, maybe he was
So-
waiting on her to get further in her career, and now she's added 8 years to this. So who knows? you know. But I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
I have a fear they're going to start messing with Devin and Leela. It's
they're
been
gonna-
too easy.
I know
It's been too easy. It's been too smooth.
we got to have some drama. So I mean, they're gonna have to do
They're going to
something.
start messing with them soon, and my heart's going to break.
Yeah.
Because they're my favorite.
Yeah,
I like
because
that
Devin's
idea.
always had issues. I mean, with with finding a partner, and then a princess, whatever. But
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope Leela comes to her senses, to be honest.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because like he said, if anybody could do it, you could do it, but
Mhm.
nobody can do it.
That's the problem. I mean, yeah, I don't even think Derek Shepard could do this, guys. Like
Eh.
it's difficult.
it's funny. I didn't always used to like Leela when she first came on. I was really, really skeptic about her, especially because
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
thinking, oh gosh, she's gonna kill somebody. You know what I'm thinking? It's just like,
Yeah.
not to sound like her parents, but because I know that's an issue
Yeah.
there too. But
I think we all thought that.
yeah,
Mhm.
and then 3 years goes by, we get this jump and nothing's happened, and so things have kind of leveled out. But now that she's going to be wanting to push herself,
Mhm.
are we opening up the possibility that the other shoe's going to drop? It's like, is
Yep.
she going to push herself so hard that she's not going to be able to keep everything in order?
Yeah, I
But
mean, she can make some big mistake. I mean, just from being overworked and overtired. So I don't
regardless
know.
of any other situation.
Yeah.
And then Bell with his career changes and everything going on with what we've
Mhm.
learned. That was
Oh
great.
man.
That's
I
a
was so
big-
excited when we first heard, okay, he's gonna go out for the seat on the medical board. I was like, oh, what a good move. Like, I'm really proud of him.
Yeah.
And then we met Max Medina,
Evil
Dr. Porter is his actual name on the show. But I don't know, I just knew. I was like, oh, there's gonna be something up with this. And there definitely was. As soon as Bell went to ask Billy for a recommendation and he started talking about him, I was like, oh God, this is him. This is Trevor's dad.
I did too. I knew
And,
immediately her face. I was like,
her
she would not
face.
have that face for any other reason.
Yeah, there was no question. I
Just-
mean, they kind of did the little recap at the beginning of the episode, so it's kind of like a refresher. I was
Yeah.
like, oh great, here it comes. Something's gonna happen this episode.
Yeah.
And it would
Yep.
be Max Medina.
Oh my gosh. Why are they gonna make him such a villain?
I don't know. It's kind of I'm a little interested to see him play a villain though, because I've never seen him play anything but
Our flower boy.
I mean, like, right? So it'll be interesting.
I saw some people post in the groups all excited. Max Medina's gonna be on the Resident. It's all excited. I was like, oh, you haven't seen this episode yet.
Oh no.
You don't watch
I'm
the
excited.
Resident.
We'd rather not have Max Medina be on here.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. I know. What was it? Shelby said something about like, oh, how Mitchum was also a bad guy, and I'm thinking he was nothing. Like when Mitchum was on the Resident, I can't remember what it.
Yeah.
like nothing to compared to what old Max is
No.
going to be playing. Like
No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't
Night.
know if I was the actor, I'd be like, I am not taking that part.
right? Oh man.
Yeah, that's gonna be probably gonna stick with him for a little bit, but
Mhm. But I was so proud of Billy that she went straight to Kit.
mhm.
And I mean, because this is, something that she's kept a secret for a long time. What, 20 years, or whatever it is.
I mean, he's a doctor now, so it's gonna be
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be more than that, maybe like 25 years. I don't know. But man, I felt for her. But
I
was
was
proud of
actually
her.
really shocked that she went to Kit that fast.
yeah.
I was shocked.
But I mean, that just shows her good character that, she's not willing to let, him do this to to someone else, knowing that he's gonna be in such a position of power now. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
How that all plays out. So
Okay.
next week, it looks like this storyline with Billy is going to continue. We've got, it looks like Dr. Porter's confronting her, very scary like, and telling her that he's, what word did he use? That it was a warning.
A warning.
Which, I mean, he's like, I'm not gonna hurt you. Like, it's just a warning. Well, that's a threat. Like, that's the same thing. So
That is
Also, given their history, I don't think I would believe him when he says, I'm not going to hurt you.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
no.
yeah. I mean, if anything, she holds all the power right now.
Mm-hmm.
She has a child.
I wonder if he knows
That's
that.
proof. Oh,
Did he-
no way. He doesn't know it. I guarantee he doesn't know it.
And I wouldn't want him to know. Like, I just feel like, I mean, for Trevor's sake, I would really want to protect him from that. But
I mean, I don't know. He's a grown up now.
yeah, but still, I mean, but he's in a profession where this guy holds a lot of power, and I don't know. It just seems, I don't know, it just seems scary.
I think there's a way Billy could.
Yes, but if
Really.
she does use Trevor, like, she can prove that he did this,
I mean, this was Trevor's
Yeah,
literally
that's true.
proof. There's nothing he can. What can he fight?
I know. I'm so
That it was
like,
consensual. She's 13.
She's
yeah, it
That's
13,
doesn't
not
matter.
a
It
thing.
doesn't matter if it's consensual.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. So
But I just wonder how scary this guy is. Like, will he like do something
I
like
don't know.
physical to like keep her from? I mean, I don't know. It's scary. I think.
I don't know. I don't trust him.
And
Yeah.
poor Trevor. I think this is going to
No.
devastate him.
Mhm.
I do too.
He's got to be careful because if he continues to have rooftop meetings, Conrad's just going to knock him right off.
He might, right? You never know. Kit might. She was pretty upset by the whole situation. So,
Yeah.
right.
Hey, maybe Conrad will give him an umbrella first.
There you go. Right.
Had to.
In omnia pratus. No.
That's funny.
Yeah. By the
Um,
way, Conrad was just holding an umbrella, and she's like, "No, I don't need it." So stupid. I'm sorry. I'm back to Cade.
It's okay.
I'm like, if he offered for me to get under his umbrella,
Mhm.
I'd be under it. No freaking question about it. And she's like, "No, I don't need an umbrella. I'm too good for that."
Well, you know,
I got
she's
mad
trying
at
to
Kate
keep
this
him at
week.
arm's length. You know, she doesn't want him to get too close here.
Why?
I'd
because
get under
I
anything he
kind
told
of-
me to.
That's what I was thinking, to be honest. Oh, okay. We're going.
Oh, look, I'm not the only one.
So the canon too that we
Oh,
saw last week,
Oh,
and we
Lord.
thought were going to happen this week.
I know that was weird, right?
Is
Yeah.
that not a weird way for a baby gender reveal?
I've seen so many weird things, so that part doesn't surprise me necessarily.
No, that didn't surprise me at all. I feel like I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Canon? Of all the things you could do, a canon is what you chose? Okay.
Well, I don't even understand why gender. People will come at me for this. I don't understand why gender reveals are even a thing. Like,
Oh, I
Just-
do. I think they're cute. I
I-
didn't have any with
I
my
do
kids,
not
but I think they're cute.
I think they're like.
They're
Like, I think if you want to have a party to like announce it, cool, whatever. But like to do something elaborate and like,
No, I like simple things. I like,
Yeah.
cutting the cake and finding out,
that
or
part's okay. Yeah,
but yeah,
Yeah.
these huge like airplane smoke cannons
weird.
going off. No, come on.
It's too much. Yeah.
I've seen ones where they hit the baseball. Those are cute.
hmm
They're harmless.
I will admit I was gonna try to do one with Shelby, and I went to the doctor, and I was gonna get them to slip, the information in an envelope, and I was gonna give it to somebody to make a cake, and she didn't tell us. Like Shelby wouldn't show us what she was, so.
Aw.
I didn't get to, so I had to wait and like went back. I wouldn't pay for an ultrasound, and then I just announced it to David because it was right before Christmas. I wrapped up a little present for David and Elena because I was just by myself because he went for the other one when she refused to tell us. So it's just a mess. Oh, but it was like I remember last week we were really confused on why Jessica and Leela. We thought it was a wedding, so it makes more sense that it sounds
Yeah.
like it's Jessica's sister is having the gender reveal.
That's what it looks like.
So that'll be, I don't know.
We get to see
fun.
Jessica. We didn't get to see Irvin this
Yes.
week.
I know. And we haven't seen Nolan in like a couple weeks. So
I
I'm getting a
know.
little,
It's been very disappointing.
yeah. We're gonna need to see them, right?
But at least we got Hunley.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll take that, right? And Winston. So that's a win, Yeah.
Oh God, you said
Um,
Winston, and I thought about Grey's Anatomy. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Not that Winston.
I'm like, dude, we're talking about the resident.
And then the only other thing, I think we mentioned it, like it looks like Billy is warning Leela about something. I wonder if it's not about trying to do both of these.
I bet so. Billy's gonna say,
Yeah,
no,
it's
don't do
gotta be.
that.
Yeah, I mean, she kind of told her, like, girl, it's impossible. You can't do this, So
No, I hope so. I hope she comes to her senses and doesn't do. It's gonna break her.
that's what I'm
It's
worried
going
about.
to break her, and it's definitely gonna break her and Devin.
And we don't want that.
I don't want either of those.
No.
I think it'll definitely be way too much for her.
I think so. Yeah. I think it'd be too much for anybody. So
Be perfect at one thing and
exactly.
just be perfect at it,
If I'm her,
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
think-
work neurosurgery with Billy instead of with AJ. I don't think I can handle working under AJ. It's just me.
I think Leela could hold her own under AJ. I don't think there would be anything
Yeah.
there, but I don't know if she could do both. I think whatever she does decide, like if she chooses one or the other, she's gonna be really good at it. But
Yeah.
and I still have the concern that they're gonna take the route where she's gonna try to do both, and then they're gonna drop the other shoe. No pun intended. Shoe. I forgot that she's in this episode.
Well, I think that's all about the resident.
Yeah.
You guys have any thoughts for us? Anything we missed or anything you want to add to what we said? You can email us at familyfanclub2021@gmail.com. Make sure to check out both of our Facebook groups because we're doing some really fun stuff. We got 30-day challenges and Valentine's Day couples and lots of good stuff. So those are 911 Family Fan Club and the Resident Chastain Family Fan Club. We're also on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all Fandom Family Chats. So come check us out. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right.